The following Boston Centerless video illustrates the impact of straightness, diameter tolerance, and roundness on Swiss operations. Specifically, it shows how all three can impact, first, the amount of operator involvement needed in order to keep the machines running well, two, how they impact the end product in terms of your dimensional capability, and lastly, how they impact the overall cost efficiency of the entire manufacturing process. Here you will see a basic schematic of a Swiss machine. In the Swiss, the material rides inside the guide bushing as it feeds through to the actual cutting operations. The bar straightness, diameter tolerance, and roundness significantly influence the tool life and uptime, your ability to hit your production rates and machine speeds, and lastly, your ability to hold finished dimensions. By way of a brief summary, here are the major impacts each characteristic can have on the Swiss. In terms of straightness, out of straight bars sets up a vibration that increases with material speed. Not only does this limit the material speed at which you can run, and hence your throughput, it drastically reduces your tool life, which limits machine uptime and hinders your ability to hold dimension. From the perspective of diameter tolerance, depending on your optimum running clearance, the bar diameter variation can significantly change the running clearance in the machine, which can first impact your ability to hold tolerance, and that is when a small part of the bar enters the bushing, it yields excessive running clearance, allowing significant movement of the bar within the bushing. Conversely, when a larger part of the bar reaches the bushing, it can remove all clearance, causing a potential bushing seizure, or worse yet, seizure, which then spins the bushing in the housing. This yields a costly repair and significant machine downtime. Lastly is roundness. Roundness is a tough variation to overcome in Swiss machining. If a bar is out of round, the parts you make will be out of round. Now, depending on the print tolerances, you may or may not be able to meet the required roundness. It really depends on the incoming bar dimensions versus your print requirements. Whether it is one inadequate dimension or all three, your operators will have three basic choices going forward. First, they can slow down the machine in the case of straightness to minimize the impact of vibration, but that slows production. Second, they can continually shut the machine down to adjust running clearance and/or change out tools that are not lasting as long as they should. These first two choices are taken to ensure first-time quality, but at the expense of throughput and potential sorting costs. At $150 to $200 per hour in a Swiss department, it adds up quickly and can negate any price savings you might see from buying cheaper material. Lastly, the operators can continue to run, but they run the risk of making bad parts which will need sorting, or they run the risk of seizing the bushing and leading to the costly repair and downtime. All three choices above lead to increased cost. The best way to combat the three geometric variations is to properly specify your incoming material. Depending upon the parts you make, you may want to start with much closer tolerance material than in the past. While it may increase the raw material cost, which is typically a very small portion of the overall cost, it may lead to a lower total cost. If you only control diameter, then specify a tighter tolerance, say plus or minus a tenth. This will force better roundness, as roundness is closely related to diameter tolerance, and it will drive improved straightness in most cases. To learn more about this topic, visit our website for more in-depth videos on each characteristic, or schedule a Lunch and Learn presentation. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate your business.